Hi everybody, welcome to VLSI Point. So this video is especially for all those students who have completed their BTech but still struggling to get a job in core electronics companies. No matter you are from ECE branch, ENTC branch, EEE or EI branch, if you are graduated but willing to start your career in VLSI, then this video is for you. If you are watching my videos first time, then I am Shweta, research scholar at IIT Dhanbad. I am doing my research in neuromorphic computing for Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. You can follow me on Instagram and ask your personal career related doubts. So follow VLSI Point if you are a VLSI enthusiast. So first thing first, guys, in this roadmap, the first step is access your basics. This step is crucial because VLSI requires a strong understanding of ECE fundamentals. Without a solid foundation, advanced concepts will feel overwhelming. So graduate students mainly have two options. Either you guys can prepare for GATE examination and do MTech from top IITs or NITs, or the other option is you can upskill yourself by the self-study or by joining the training institutes. By doing MTech, you will get an access to better placement opportunities for the core electronics companies like Qualcomm, Intel, Texas Instruments, Nvidia, AMD, etc. These companies directly visit top IITs, NITs and reputed private colleges like BITS Pilani for recruitment purpose. If you are not willing to do MTech, then you still have an option in your hand. You can do self-study by using free available resources, or you can join training institutes. So many training institutes are there in Hyderabad and Bangalore, so you can check for that. But most of these charge a very high amount. So if you have financial problem, then I would recommend you to do the self-preparation. Enough free resources are available on YouTube, so utilize that and plan strategically. You can also refer Udemy or Coursera courses, and they charge a very nominal amount for that. So for self-study, guys, I'm going to tell you some basic subjects and tools which you have to prepare for your placement point of view. So start your journey with basic subjects like digital electronics, Verilog, basics of analog electronics, then your CMOS circuit, computer design and architecture. So in digital electronics, you can start with number system, then your Boolean algebra, logic gates, then combinational circuits, sequential circuits, memory design, FSM, then your microprocessor 8085 and 8086. This subject is backbone of VLSI design for both front-end and back-end. So better to start with this subject. If you are a bookish person, then the best book is Digital Design by Maurice Mano. You can download the solution manual of that and solve the practice questions also. For video lectures, you can follow NISO Academy's videos available on YouTube, that is completely free. Other than that, you can follow NPTEL lectures also by Professor Chattopadhyay. Guys, now I am telling you the basic subjects which is required for both front-end and back-end. Later in this video, I will tell you which domain would be the best fit for you, where you can get a job easily in front-end or in back-end. So watch till end. Along with digital electronics, programming language is very important, guys, especially if you are preparing for front-end, then you can focus on C language. The basic knowledge is sufficient. This subject will help you in logic building. So for C programming, you can either follow Apna College lectures or Jenny's lecture or Code with Harry. So follow any of that. Practice coding problems on Geeks for Geeks and focus on basic topics like arrays, pointers and loops. Along with programming skills, basic knowledge of data structures is also important, so focus on that. Guys, I'm assuming that after your BTech, either you are doing a job or preparing for these interviews. So in this way, you can plan your entire schedule. Give 3 to 4 hours to digital electronics. First learn a topic and then try to solve the question of that. In this way, you will grasp the concept in an easier way. Give remaining 3 hours time to C programming. So your digital electronics and C programming, both the things are going simultaneously. These two things will hardly take 10 days time, or you can even complete that in 1 week, depending upon your efforts and the time which you are given. After completing these two subjects, you can start Verilog and STA, that is static timing analysis. Verilog is a must-have skills for digital role, and you can install Xilinx Vivado for practice purpose. You can even use EDA Playground, which is an open source tool. For Verilog basic concepts, you can follow VLSI Point playlist. Videos are available available in both Hindi and English. And for advanced concept, you can follow Hardware Modeling Using Verilog by Professor Indranil Sengupta. Hardware Description Language by Samir Palnitkar is the best book for this subject. You will get so many practice problems in this book, so download the solution manual and you can check your answers with that. Start using ChatGPT for your practice purpose. After completing any topic, you can ask to ChatGPT to provide you a 20 to 30 question for interview point of view related to that particular topic. So I think this will be the great way of practice. Static timing analysis is a very important subject, and in your almost every interview you will get the question from this subject. You can refer Static Timing Analysis course by Kunal Ghosh, available on Udemy. This is a paid course but cost is very nominal. I think around 1000 rupees, so you can easily afford this course. Or for free resources, Synopsys Guide is the best one. So guys, you can complete all these 4 subjects in 1 month. In first 15 days, complete your digital electronics and C programming, and remaining 15 days will be sufficient for your Verilog and STA. Your next subject is computer organization and architecture, and there you have to mainly focus on pipelining, instruction set and memory hierarchy. This subject is important for front-end roles and verification engineers. You can follow Patterson's book for this subject, and companies like Nvidia usually ask more questions from this computer organization and architecture. However, Google-like companies focus more on programming questions. After completing this subject, the next one is analog electronics, and you have to cover the basic concepts only. You can follow Behzad Razavi's lecture for this subject. Actually, this subject is important to understand the BJTs and MOSFET concepts. You can follow Analog Circuit Design by Sandra and Smith for more detailed theory. So in second month, how you can plan your schedule? Just give 4 to 5 hours to learn the new subject and remaining 2 hours to practice the questions for all those subjects which you have completed in the previous month. CMOS basics is must have for both front end and back end roles. For this subject, you can follow Professor Janki Raman's videos for inverter characteristic, and first 20 to 22 videos are sufficient for that. For rest of the topics, you can follow CMOS Digital VLSI Design by Professor Das Gupta. If you are confused what all topics you have to cover, then just follow the GATE exam syllabus. Whatever topics are mentioned there in the GATE syllabus, just follow that. That is more than enough for your placement preparation. For CMOS basics, Rabe and Kang book is good, so you can refer for that. So guys, these 7 subjects are essential. There is no negotiation. Anyhow, you have to prepare all these subjects. So you are done with your basics in 2 to 2.5 months, and now you have to decide whether you are willing to go in front end or back end. In front end domain, you will get the job roles like RTL design, verification, design verification, or FPGA based roles. And your focus area would be digital design and Verilog for design role, system Verilog and UVM for the verification role. For simulation purpose, you can use Vivado or ModelSim. EDA Playground will also fine. So if you are a person who love coding, then front end is for you. Back-end design roles are physical design engineer, STA engineer, DFT engineer, and their focus area is STA, physical designing, DFT, timing closer. So if you enjoy transistor level design and CMOS circuit, then backend is for you. So I hope now you are clear which one to choose, front end or backend. It's my personal recommendation that if you are not strong with all these concepts but willing to get a job as early as possible, then choose front end, because front end is comparatively easy. Multiple opportunities are there, so you will easily get job. Front end is preferable for entry level jobs. So guys, finally you have completed all the 2 steps. In first step, you have completed the basics of all the important subjects, and in second step, you have decided where to go, front end or back end. Now it's time to start your third step, which is hands-on experience in tools. So front end guys, you can use ModelSim, Vivado or EDA Playground. You can make small projects like the counter design, ALU, and try to simulate the design and check the output. Backend guys, you can use Synopsys ICC, Cadence Virtuoso or Mentor graphics tool. You can design the schematic and layout for practice purpose. Here is a list of open source tool. For front end, it is EDA Playground. For back end, it is OpenRoad or Magic VLSI. Guys, try to solve more and more coding questions you can practice on platforms like Geeks for Geeks. Now it's time to do some projects which will add a weightage in your resume. Front-end guys, you can design a processor, ALU or FSM in Verilog, and back-end guys, you can design the layout. Front-end guys can take help of ChatGPT for their project building. You can get some ideas from there and even some part of code also. After completing all these subjects and tools, now it's time to apply for internships and entry-level jobs. Remember guys, if you have year gaps or low CGPA, then you can easily cover up that by entering into the small scale companies or startups. Smaller companies offer internships where you can get a hands-on experience. Target service-based companies like Capgemini, L&T, Wipro. They often work on semiconductor services. By entering in these service-based companies or startups through internships or full-time job, you can easily build experience and your transition to the product-based companies. So try to build in-depth skills and focus on projects in which you are working. A strong resume is a key for getting shortlisted. So highlight all the tools, certifications and projects in that. You can even add all those subjects which you have completed till now. Try to avoid unnecessary details and keep your resume precise. You can reach out to professionals and HR manager in semiconductor companies. You can do cold emailing or request on LinkedIn. Just attach your resume with completed projects. And then you can request for referrals for upcoming position. Internshala, LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Indeed, these all are very good platform to apply for off-campus jobs. At last guys, be consistent and keep revising. Practice VLSI concepts regularly. Some companies also ask aptitude questions, so you can practice that on Geeks for Geeks. Just focus on one domain at a time. Don't prepare for both front-end and back-end. Remember guys, networking is the key. So join LinkedIn groups for VLSI professionals. If there is any webinar or workshop, then try to attend that also. So here is the conclusion of this video. First, if you are interested in doing MTech, then prepare well for GATE examination. Try to complete your MTech from Tier 1 colleges and directly get into the core electronics companies. Path 2 is joining VLSI training institutes. If you are not interested to do MTech, then this could be the best option for you. Just complete your front-end or back-end course and leverage their placement opportunity. The third path is self-learning by open source tools. So for that, I have already mentioned all the subject with their resources. So prepare well and target VLSI startups and service-based companies for entry-level jobs. After gaining 2 to 3 years of experience, you can easily switch to product-based companies. So guys, stay focused, keep learning and don't lose hope. No matter what path you are choosing, just believe in yourself and put your 200% efforts. So this is it guys. This is about today's video. If you found this video useful, then hit the like button and subscribe VLSI Point to get more electronics engineering related content. If you have any suggestion or any specific topic, then do let me know in the comment box. For any of your doubt, you can DM me on either LinkedIn or Instagram. See you soon in the next video. Till then, keep learning and stay curious.